Roosevelt welcomes our special guests for tonight, voice actress extraordinaire, the one and only Katrina Salisbury.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Katrina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
Can
How are you?
full disclosure, I watch a few episodes of My Little Pony. Just to get reacquainted with the character.
I mean, that,
Me and my kids love. We watch My Little Pony. We haven't watched it in a while, but we my kids. I showed them your character, and they're like, "Oh, I know her."
oh, that
I was
makes
like,
me
"Well, I'm gonna be
so
talking to her tonight."
Tell
We
them
love My Little
hi
Pony.
from Yona the Yak. Oh, it's a good show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that My Little Pony show has been so successful. It's in its ninth season already.
Ninth season. We did 9 seasons. We finished recording last year, and then it finished coming out. Oh, I guess it would. What year is it? It finished coming out last year.
2020, and it's been a hell of a year, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're actually the home here in Baltimore of the BronyCon.
Yes. The last BronyCon was last year, unfortunately. The big
was
one.
it now,
There's
huh?
still tons of for the BronyCon, for the big BronyCon, but there's lots of pony conventions still happening all across the country, as well as I think still in like the UK and Scotland. Well, Scotland's in the UK, but all over there. Germany.
So are you like a big rock star to the Bronies?
It's like a whole movement.
I don't know if I'm a rock. Okay, maybe a little bit, tiny bit.
Now I remember like the old My Little Ponies. I never was really a fan. But what about this new series? What about it that causes like guys to be so fanatical about it?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. A lot of them, I think, it just makes them feel like they're part of a community because so many people enjoy it. And like a lot of people from the pony community are on the spectrum with autism, and a lot of people don't maybe accept them in their day-to-day life, but when they come to these pony conventions, and even online now with technology, they can become friends with so many people across the world and feel like they belong to something special, which it is.
There was this documentary that I saw with my friends. It's all about the My Little Pony movement and the Bronies, and I loved it. It was such an inspiring film, and you're right, and they did mention that a lot of people on the spectrum were into it, and then it just provides people with like this fantasy, right? Like just complete out from their normal like lives into this reality world, like with unicorns and stuff, and
100%.
And yaks.
I love
dragons, everything. A little bit of everything sprinkled in.
How many seasons have you done of My Little Pony?
I did 2 seasons.
Okay,
cool. I did season 8 and season 9. They introduced the Young Six, which I was a part of in season 8, and they opened up a school of friendship where we all kind of trickled in, and we weren't so friendly with one another. I was a yak. I felt like I was the best person in the whole world. Nobody could tell me anything. But then I learned to be loyal to other people, and other people celebrate different things, and that's really cool and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So will we see you in a season 10? Will you and the yak be in season 10?
Season 9 is the end for Gen 4, which is what we were. I know they are working, I think, on a Gen 5 at the moment. I have no idea about any of that, so I'll wait and see with everyone else. But if Yona did ever come back, I would be more than happy
to yak it up, right?
To yak it up. Yak dance, stomp some stuff.
How did you develop your voice for Yona? What did you how did you figure out the Yona voice?
So I got the audition for the character, and I was like, all right, what do yaks sound like in the world of pony? So I actually went back and watched a bunch of episodes where the yaks made an appearance, and I was like, okay, they're a bit brutish. I don't know, they kind of like, they are really raspy, really deep. They just kind of smash things. So I'm like, all right, I need to create a raspy voice. And they talk in the third person, and they kind of speak in broken English. So I just kind of adopted that, and Yona was created from there.
Yeah, because you sound a lot.
Awesome.
The Hulk might have been a little bit of a idol to her.
Can we hear the voice?
Yeah, I guess Chachi wants to hear the voice.
Oh, it's been so long. All right. So she smashed a lot. So she'd go, yuck, smash! You wanna love Pony Pal. You know.
I love it.
That's so cute.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
got to
It's adorable.
a song once in her voice, and the direction I got was be more Nickelback. And that is the best direction I've received to date in a recording session.
That's awesome. So would you guys record together?
We did when that was okay to do. Now, now we're alone. But we did, yeah. We'd get as many people who were in town or were available at the time. We would get together. There'd usually be about 6 to 8 of us at a time in the booth recording, which is so nice. In voiceover, you don't always get to be with your fellow actors.
Right.
In dubbing ADR, you're always by yourself, and you just go by time stamps.
Was this in Vancouver?
This is in Vancouver. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, because I was thinking, with everything going on in the world of the pandemic, animation, voiceover artists, those are some of the few projects that can continue safely.
Yeah.
Which I think you are in a great position, and any other voice actor that can still, like you said, you can do ADR either in the booth. You could probably do this at a home, setting as well.
Totally.
Is this something you ever done at home, doing the voiceovers for some of the characters?
Every character I've done, I've been able to record in the studio.
Okay.
I do have my own setup here, which I usually just use for auditions. But it is possible to use that to record. In Vancouver, we've been pretty good. Our studios have actually stayed open. We just have crazy rules around it. Like, you have to be texted to come inside. They clean everything. No one sees you. It's just you and the engineer. The engineer doesn't leave their room. Mm-hmm. You go in, adjust your own mic, and then you leave. And
that's good to hear.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about all the television series, with the live action television series? They've ceased production, right?
Yeah, they've ceased production. We just got, we were told today that we are hoping to come back mid-June, maybe early July, if our numbers stay down. I mean,
yeah, Vancouver, compared to the United States, where we are, Vancouver and Canada as a whole has a lot less cases of corona. So you guys,
we're a lot more spread out, and I think we have we don't even have a third of the population that you guys do. So I guess we're a bit luckier that way, at least with the pandemic, that we're able to actually social distance a bit easier.
Yeah. And we don't have a president, a stupid president. You don't have a stupid president like we do. Maybe just
our leader's been pretty okay during this time. That's a luxury, I suppose. I shouldn't laugh. It is. No.
What do you think all the celebrities that want to move to Canada if Trump gets reelected?
Why not? We can trade places eventually. One day I want to go to LA, so let's just switch passports.
You want to trade?
Yeah,
I love Canada.
They never move though, do they?
No, they don't. My boyfriend actually just moved to LA right before the pandemic, so it's been fun.
Has it been tough?
Not as tough as I thought it would be.
Okay.
But it's probably just because we play World of Warcraft online for hours a day. So
that's awesome.
I'm busy, keeping my mind off of the rest of the world.
You get to FaceTime and Skype with him too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get to interact with them that way, even though I'm sure you're missing them in other ways.
I don't we're not locked in the same room. I don't want to kill them. So maybe it worked out for the better.
How did you get into voice acting?
I went to school for film and TV when I was about 19 years old, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be an on-camera actress. This is what I want to do. And within that program, there was a voiceover component. And that's where I learned that I could, sound like a yak or sound like a 4-year-old, and fun stuff like that I didn't know I could ever do. And when I was in that class, I was like, this is actually a lot of fun. And I am a shy person, so getting to kind of hide behind a microphone was a nice feeling at first.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I'll just kind of go down this path for a little bit and see where it takes me. And I'm super glad I did. So
Now,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, because you have all the success in voiceover work, do you find you're not auditioning as much for on-camera projects?
Yeah, not as much. I'm pretty much switched over to only voiceover.
Really?
Yeah, I did a few. I was going out for a few on-camera things, and when I was 22, I got a call back for mom of 3 children, and I was like, I don't know about that. So, okay.
That's Allie. Well, Allie
Maybe
has
I'll
2.
just stick with voiceover.
You don't want the mom. You don't want the mom roles yet.
Not at 22. No, that was a few years ago.
Wow.
That was a few years ago, right?
That was a few years ago.
But now, would you do the mom role or no? Still no. You're still.
You look
thinking.
so young though.
Now I'd probably do it. I do go out.
You
for
look
some
very, very young.
Thank you.
That's the great thing about voiceover work, because you can work into like your 80s and still like get any kind of job you want.
Yeah. Russie Taylor, who was, rest in peace, but she was an amazing voiceover talent, was doing all kinds of characters up until she passed away. Like, she was amazing. So that is the goal.
There you go.
Fantastic.
It's a job that keeps on giving.
It truly is.
Yeah.
How does the voiceover like pay compared to like regular in-person acting? Is it pretty comparable or what?
It's pretty good. Like, I mean, when you're in voiceover, you're only in the booth for like maybe 2 to 3 hours at a time, and then your day is done.
Wow.
Versus on camera, you're on set for like 16, could be plus hours a day. Series regulars and on camera pay a lot better, but I mean, it's still nice either way. Like, it's
still screen act. It's SAG scale or whatever, but it's ACTRA in Canada. So,
but like if you're doing
we're ACTRA, UBCP ACTRA.
Do you actually have the script in front of you when you're doing voiceover work, or do you have to like memorize lines?
Nope, don't have to memorize any lines. It's so nice.
Do you still try to memorize it to get the emotion out, or do you rely on
I do a lot of text analysis, still as you would in on-camera work. You read the script over, you make your choices about what your character's feeling, what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they feel about other people. So I guess you kind of memorize it in that way. It's just not completely stuck in your head. Although when I do ADR and dubbing, I do try to memorize that a bit more, because you have to stare at the screen for half of the time to make sure you're matching the mouth flaps of the characters.
Okay, interesting.
So do you have any kind of heroes in the industry that you look up to, that kind of like mentors who are into voice acting?
Russie Taylor is one of them, and then Tara Strong.
Tara Strong, yes.
She's my childhood.
She's the
queen.
What does she do?
So she was Twilight Sparkle in My Little Pony, so I did kind of get to work with her, which was amazing.
Awesome. I was gonna ask that.
She's Bubbles. She's in the Rugrats. She's Harley Quinn. She's my all-time favorite Harley Quinn.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah,
she's the queen.
She is the queen of voiceover.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're actually really fortunate to talk with her and Greg Sipes at the recent Baltimore Comic-Con.
Wow.
And we did an interview with them in tandem, and they have this crazy friendship. It's pretty funny seeing Greg. I don't know if you met Greg Sipes. He's a wild one. Wild one on the on the voiceover acting world.
I think
for sure.
any voice actor you meet is probably going to be like a little bit of a wild one, even if they're tamed down a bit. Most voice actors I know are a little crazy.
Oh yeah, except for
Yeah.
you, or do you have a little crazy yourself?
I mean, I'm a Gemini, so I'm probably a little crazy.
Yeah, we met Alan Oppenheimer, who did the voice of like Skeletor and like just a ton of stuff in the '80s, and he's like, still doing work even at his
Yeah.
age.
That's awesome.
There you go. Yeah,
He's
So-
What
he's
a-
90 now.
Oh, wow.
90 and still working.
Wow.
I mean, that's the dream. That is the dream.
Yeah.
For me, at least. Maybe not for everyone.
Um,
What advice would you give? So for me, I do mostly commercial voiceover, but would to love like cartoons for me would be like a dream. What advice would you give for getting more into cartoons versus commercials?
Watch tons of cartoons. Watch so many cartoons. I probably watch too many cartoons. But
uh-huh.
is that a thing? Yeah, you can't watch too many cartoons. I'd watch tons of cartoons. Be animated in what you do. Like a lot of voiceover shows are crazy and wild and fast paced. So I think the bigger the better, unless they tell you they want very grounded, like BoJack Horseman. But even BoJack can be a bit animated at times.
Yeah. That's great advice. There you go, Allie. If you're looking for it.
The bigger the better. The bigger go.
Go big or go home. Let's talk about your other project. You have Molly of Denali playing the character of
Yes.
Nina. This is gonna be on PBS and in CBC in Canada. Tell us a little bit about your character and working on this project.
So in this show, I play Nina, who is a mid-20s-year-old scientist. And she's Canadian, which is not too far from me, except I'm not a scientist by any means. But this show's really special and really, really cool. It's the first animated series that has had the lead be about an Alaskan native, and her life and her growing up in Alaska and her family and her stories is written. All of the stories are written by First Nations, which is really, really cool. And it actually just got nominated for a Peabody today for youth and children.
Cool.
So
Congrats, the Peabody. That's great.
Good piece of news to get during these times. So that's been a lot of fun working with younger kids with that, because in My Little Pony we're all pretty much around the same age.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of adults doing these kid voices, but with Molly of Denali they cast actual kids, so it's cool to be able to play with them in the booth and get the reactions off of them when you're acting together, and to meet some people that I grew up watching, like Lauren Cardinal is on the show, and I used to watch him in Quarter Gas all the time. So walking into the booth and being like, oh my God,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's really, really cool. I didn't fangirl in the booth. I was just like, hey, how's it going? But inside, I'm like, I can't suck right now. I can't suck today. I have to be good. So that's been pretty cool to be on the show. It's my first preschool show, which has been an experience.
Oh, wow.
I speak really fast. And in preschool, you have to speak a little bit slower and just kind of get it across to the younger audience. So that's been a challenge for me.
So why do you think they cast more adults to do the kid roles in animation versus just casting more kids? Why do you think they really rely on the adults, you think?
Well, I mean, there's the kids that I've been able to work with, and a lot of the kids I know are extremely respectable young actors. They work really hard. They're always, in a good mood and able to take direction. But I think sometimes maybe kids get a little bit too rambunctious. Maybe they aren't able to take direction as well. If they're really, really young, it's like, can they read and understand what's going on in the script? And I also think in cartoons, it's so wacky that a lot of the times adults playing kids sounds a bit more cartoonish, where it sounds more real if you have actual kids. So if it's a more grounded show, I think they tend to go for kids, and then if it's a bit more wacky doodle cartoon, they'll go for the adults.
Okay.
I can't can't adults work longer hours than kids with the SAG rules?
Yeah.
That's right.
Can only work a certain amount of hours. I think it's 8 or less.
Yeah,
so,
8 hours or less. Yeah.
But
for a voiceover day, it's sometimes less than 8, though, right?
Oh yeah, it's never 8 unless you're on a few shows that day. It's usually 2 to 3 hours per.
Wow, what a schedule!
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That's a heck of a schedule.
God, I have to go to work at 9, and then I'm off at 11. What a long day.
You don't have to worry about putting on makeup or
That's
fixing
fantastic.
your hair.
No,
you can,
you can look however you want to look. I mean, you should probably not come in with like a bird's nest and smelling like you didn't shower, but but you can get
shower. I didn't say shower. You gotta shower.
please shower.
Please shower.
They're airlocked, like that.
I love it. So you do have one project I'm reading here in your bio, sent by my good friend Ashley Buck, who's
Amazing
awesome,
lady.
who sent us to you, which is amazing. You actually have a project you're writing and directing, if we could talk about it. It's called The Chattening.
The Chattening.
Yes.
If you can kind of get from the name, I mean, a chat. So this was my first project that I wrote and directed and actually made. I mean, there's tons of projects you kind of just write and you're like, maybe this will see the light of day, maybe it won't, who knows. But I'd been writing a lot, and I was like, okay, I need to actually make something. Like, I can't just be writing this and putting it in the folder. So I decided to do a 48-hour film challenge for my very first film.
Cool.
I would not recommend it for your first film.
Yeah.
To make that in 48 hours.
Yeah, because you're still learning,
no
right?
sleep, literally no sleep.
Wow.
But it was a lot of fun. I was able to direct it with my boyfriend partner, who is an on-camera actor, and he directs. So I was like, will you please help me out with this? Like, I just kind of want to make something, but I'm a little bit nervous that I'm going to royally screw it up. So he agreed.
Cool.
Yeah, and it tackles a few issues, a little bit toxic masculinity and, how people of color are treated. So it's a horror comedy. It's on YouTube now. I'd been submitting to a few festivals, but I was like, with the pandemic happening, these poor festivals, I don't know what's going to happen. I might as well just put it online and see if people enjoy. Yeah.
We can find that by simply searching for The Chattening on YouTube, which should come up.
The Chattening on YouTube. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, it was a finalist at the Vancouver's annual Blood and Guts competition. Ooh, Blood and Guts.
It is a horror comedy. There is a little bit of blood and guts involved. It's a 5-minute film, quick and fun.
Cool.
Yeah, my actors amazing. Oh, sorry, it cut out. Maybe it's my internet.
I think it says I can't hear him either.
Okay, there we go.
Al.
I can
Al, can't hear you.
Now
Al?
I can't hear Al.
Oh no! Yeah, I can't hear Al either.
I can hear Chachi.
Hey, do Al's voiceover for him.
Oh,
You can see the lips moving, but.
So I was curious about your. I guess you can hear me without the microphone because
we can hear you now.
Later. Yeah, because I took it out. I'm speaking directly into the microphone of the computer. But what is your favorite genre? I mean, are you a fan of the horror genre?
I didn't become a fan of horror genre until a few years ago. I am a big baby. E.T. scared me so badly as a child. So, E.T. Oh yeah, even to this day, I'm like, I don't know if I can watch E.T. Man, he's scary.
Wow.
So I was a big baby. I didn't like anything scary or kind of out there. I'm like, comedy all the way. Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. I can watch that 24 hours a day for the rest of my life. But I started to get into horror a little bit, probably about 5 years ago. I do like horror. I am still a little bit of a baby, like horror comedies where I like it. I think my favorite genre, I do like fantasy. I like fantasy a lot. It's like Lord of the Rings. No, sorry.
How about Game of Thrones?
Oh, yes. I mean, the last season.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. It was a thing. It was a thing. But I still love Game of Thrones. The Witcher I really, really loved this year. Or this past year, 2019, 2020, whenever it came out.
The Witcher,
is
that
yeah.
on Netflix?
Yes, it is on Netflix. It's
I've
a book.
been seeing it.
It's a game. I played the game a few years ago, and then when the series came out, I was like, I have to check this. And it was really, really well done in my eyes. I thought it was great, and I can't wait for the next season.
Cool.
I'll have to check it
Do you have
out.
any dream
It's really
projects
good.
or like anything?
Sorry?
Do you have any what is your dream project that you'd like to be a part of?
My dream is to one day voice Harley Quinn. That would be awesome. Tara Strongs and Kaylee Cuoco are going to have that on lockdown for a bit, as well as Margot Robbie for the movies. So that could be a ways away, but that would be a dream of mine. Another show.
Have you practiced your Harley Quinn voice?
I used to do a pretty good Harley Quinn. I haven't picked it up for a while.
Okay.
My accent will probably be like absolute shit, but I did used to do that. Just pull it out when I could. I'm like, here's my party trick, Harley Quinn, Mr. J. But another show I would have loved. Awesome. I would have loved to have been on BoJack Horseman as literally any character. You could just throw me in and I could cough once and it would be like, okay, I'm done. That's it. I was on BoJack Horseman. Amazing. That is one of my favorite animated shows I think ever made. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. But Harley Quinn would be my dream. I would also love to voice Carnage, even though it's a dude.
From the Marvel
But if they ever wanted to gender Carnage, yeah.
That would be cool.
If they ever wanted a female Carnage, I like the crazy characters. That's where my craziness comes out. Harley Quinn, awesome. Carnage, all the villainous people.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
I'm having audio issues.
Oh no.
Hello, testing.
Do you have any dream voice actors that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with?
Mark Hamill's pretty amazing.
Oh, wow.
He would be fantastic.
Cool. Mark Hamill. I don't know if I could even walk in the room though. Like, could I be professional in that setting? I don't know. I'd just be muttering. He would be amazing to work with. Who else would be? I mean, there's so many. There's so many good people. Yeah, Tara Strong is another one. We never actually got to work in the same room because she's based out of LA. Yeah, so we would record in the morning, and then she would patch in the afternoon from LA and record. So
interesting.
Yeah, so cool. Even though we've literally talked to each other in a scene, I've never actually had the pleasure of working face to face with her. So that would be pretty cool.
That's
cool. Wow.
Awesome. Well, Katrina, wow, this is awesome. So glad you called into Below the Belt show. And of course, we can check you out on My Little Pony on Netflix, and of course also on Hulu too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's on both.
We don't have Hulu in Canada, unfortunately, but in the States, yes.
Awesome. Well, Katrina, I was hoping you could do a promo for us. Let us know who you are, throughout your characters, and then maybe add the voices of Yona the Yak and your other character from Molly Denali, maybe, and
sure.
And then let us know you're on Below the Belt show.
For sure. Hey guys, I'm Katrina Salisbury, patching in from Vancouver. You may know me as Yona Yak from My Little Pony. Nina from Molly of Denali, and a few other crazy little characters spreaded throughout the dubbing world. I'm here on Below the Belt Show, and it's a fun time.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Katrina, you're
I
awesome.
love it.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It's
To meet
been
Yeah, thank you.
fun spending isolation with you.
Yes.
Still locked inside.
Well, stay safe.
Stay
You
safe.
guys too.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice
You
meeting
too.
Stay
you all.
safe.
Nice
Nice
to
meeting
meet
you.
you.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.